So guys, in this video, I'm going to break down the very first step you need to take to get started wholesaling real estate. And that is finding your target market. And I'm going to tell you exactly what market you need to be targeting. Hey guys, it's Byron back with another video. And what I want to do in this video is begin a series on how to get started wholesaling real estate. And this is a follow-up of one of my earlier videos on how to get started wholesaling real estate, where I give you a step-by-step guide. I'm going to break down each step in these different videos to kind of go through in detail and talk about how you can get started. And I'll also make a document that goes along with each video that gives written instructions on how to get started wholesaling real estate. So step number one in getting started wholesaling real estate is finding a target location. So you have to find what area are you going to target. What area are you going to focus on to try to reach out to property owners to see if they're interested in selling their property? Well, from my experience, one of the best ways to find a target area is to locate a city nearby. After you've located that city, don't target the city, target counties outside of the city. As a beginner, a lot of times, you look inside these cities and you see that there may be opportunity. However, what you don't see is there's a lot of big companies and a lot of very experienced wholesalers that's competing to get deals inside of these bigger markets. I try to go outside of the city about 30-45 minutes and find a county with a population of about 100 to 200,000 people, around those numbers. Now, I wouldn't go below 100,000, but I will go above 200,000 a little bit. And the reason I say that is because it's less competition there. A lot of times those places are a little bit lesser known. And a lot of times the path to progression is coming toward those places. So there's going to be a lot of moving in and out, a lot of people moving in, a lot of people moving out. So that's why I say target those areas. I also go on Google and type in whatever state I'm looking in. So if I'm in the state of Georgia, I'll look up Georgia counties by population growth just to see what counties are growing. If I select the county, I don't want that county to have a population that's declining. I want whatever county I'm looking at, I want the population to be going up. So that's one thing I see as a requirement. Another requirement that I see is I go on PropStream to figure out, okay, how many cash buyers are inside of that county. And PropStream is just a service that you can use that gives all kind of property transaction records, what's sold, what's on the market, what's off market when it comes to properties, and all the records of properties that they've collected from the MLS to county records. And I'm going to put a link below to how you can get PropStream, get a 7-day trial, and you can use your 7-day trial period to find a lot of these buyers in your target area. And I always say PropStream is probably the best $100 you could spend when it comes to trying to wholesale real estate. So I would go, and I always say for every about 100,000 in population, I want to see about 8,000 cash buyers or cash transactions on the overall search on PropStream. So I'll go into PropStream and search DeKalb County, if I'm looking at DeKalb County, Georgia, to see, okay, how many cash buyers do they have versus their population. So I always say, hey, I want 100,000. If there's 100,000 population, I want to see 8,000 cash buyers. If there's 200,000 population, I want to see 16,000 cash transactions or cash buyers purchasing property. While we're talking about target market, guys, I just wanted to tell you to leave comments below if you think I can bring you more content that's helpful. I always say that I'm probably more valuable now than I'm ever going to be as a beginner. I kind of understand where you're coming from if you're a beginner trying to get started to grow your business. So make sure you leave comments below. Make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you're sharing this out. I know there's other people struggling trying to get started, and I'm willing to help. Right now, I'm able to respond to people and give myself back to you guys because I know how it is trying to get started. So make sure you share this out to everybody and let them know that, hey, I'm trying to bring you guys some good information. So back to the video. The next thing I look for inside of these counties is the different cash buyers. So inside of wholesaling, there's different people that you can wholesale properties to. You're going to have your typical flipper that's looking to buy a property at a low price, fix it up, and resell it at a higher price. So you have your local flippers that flip in that area. You have your landlords, your local landlords, people in that area that just want to buy and hold on to the property. You also have your big companies that's buying properties. You have hedge funds and iBuyers. Now, what I like is to have all three of those working inside of the market that I'm going to target. That gives me more of an option when I find properties. I may find a property that doesn't fit what a local landlord would want, but it'll fit what a flipper would want because maybe it needs a lot of repairs. Or maybe a property doesn't need as much repairs, and they're asking for a lot more money. Maybe a local landlord would be willing to take that on. Or maybe it's even a higher cost property, a property that's maybe $190,000, $200 and some $1,000 that's in a high rent area where I could sell it off to a hedge fund because that's the kind of properties that they're looking for. So I like to have all three buyers at work when I'm focusing on a target area. I know some of you guys message me and you're looking inside of these counties that have like 10,000 or 20,000 people. Well, none of the hedge funds are buying there. There's not many landlord buyers. Maybe there's one or two. And there's not many people flipping. So you make sure you're looking in counties where you have all three type of buyers. And that way, when you find something, first, you're going to be able to find those buyers. But then when you find something, those buyers are going to be ready to take action. A way to find hot zip codes is to go to buyersonfire.com. You go to Buyers on Fire and you use this sweet spot locator. Buyers on Fire, it does have a subscription base, but you can get the trial free and you can use this sweet spot locator to run all the different counties you want to run or cities you want to run and find the hot zip codes within those cities. It'll tell you how many transactions are being made. It'll tell you if it's a good area to wholesale or not. So guys, go to Buyers on Fire and use their 14-day trial free and use the sweet spot locator, and you can see which zip codes are hot and which zip codes are not, which ones are good for wholesaling, which ones are not so good for wholesaling, and it'll tell you all of that right there on this site. So that's a great way to figure out what zip codes will work for you, or whether the area you're looking to target is a good location or a bad location. And lastly, guys, you have to use your knowledge of the area. The thing I always tell people is you probably wholesale better in the area that you know. If you know the area, you're probably going to do better because you know nobody has to tell you which zip codes are hot because you usually kind of know what zip codes are hot. You kind of know where people like to live, where people don't like to live. You kind of know about the different school systems and stuff like that. And if you know a location, I always tell people try to wholesale in the area that you know first. And if you can't wholesale in the area that you know, whether it's a very rural area or whether it's a very urban area, try to find somewhere that you know or somebody that you know knows the area. Those areas are always better areas to target. So guys, there you go. I just gave you a breakdown of your first step. The first thing you need to do is figure out what market you are going to target. And the next step that I'm going to break down and talk about is how to find all three types of buyers within those markets. I've already made a video about how to find cash buyers, which I'll link in this video, but I want to break this down within this series on how to find a target area and then how to focus on that target area to see if hedge funds are buying, to see if you have enough fix and flippers in that area to target it, and to see if there's regular local landlords in that area that's being active. So stay tuned, guys, to the next how-to wholesale video where I break down how you can find cash buyers in your target market. So there you go, guys. If you're wondering what's the first step getting started, go follow those steps and find your target market.